And a good Friday, everybody. Welcome in. Chase and Big Joe, 1025 The Game. We are live today at Party Foul on Broadway. It's right next to Vanderbilt. You need to come see us. We're going to tell you why all day long. But if you don't have tickets to a certain game in town tomorrow night, we have a pair. You might want to come see us. I'm just saying. Chase McCabe with you here today. Big Joe is celebrating the first birthday of his granddaughter.
That's awesome.
And so he is in Mississippi. So I am joined for a little bit by Andrew Allegretta, the voice of the Commodores, who, again, that game I referenced, that's the one tomorrow.
Oh, is that the one?
That's the one
Okay.
tomorrow against Missouri. What's up, Andrew? How are you?
Not much. First birthday. That's fantastic.
Yes.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday, but they're doing the party this weekend.
For sure.
And the funny part is tomorrow is Joe's birthday, and nobody will care about
That's
that.
right.
Like, he
That's
will
right.
have no – he might get a card. Who knows? I'll send him a text.
A week later.
Yes, but –
Oh, it's your birthday a week ago.
Yeah. But, it's cool. He is – I think it's funny. He's talked about it that he said you don't know love until you have a grandchild. Like, it's a different type of love than like
It
your own
progresses from
kids.
kid to grandchild. Okay.
Yeah, so he's obviously very, very excited about that and has gone down to Mississippi to see them. So you're hanging out. We got a lot of different things we're going to get to today, but we were just talking off the air of just how cool all of this is. Game days in town. I know Kirk Herbstreit just did an availability about 90 minutes ago, something like that. Reese Davis. Talking about being in Nashville and those things. But for you as the broadcaster, that you haven't lived some of the Vanderbilt stuff, but you've seen it the last few years. I mean, what has all this been like for you?
Well, first off, not as much, but I do have a pair of 2-10 football seasons under my belt.
Okay.
I do have what was just a very disorienting night in Las Vegas against UNLV a couple of years ago, in which they took a huge lead and then let it get away.
Yep.
But the past two seasons with Tim Beck, with Jerry Kill, the way that Clark has reorganized this program to get Diego Pavia in here, who is a legitimate Heisman Trophy candidate
100%.
at this point.
100%.
Because billboards have told me so, by the way. I drive around Nashville. They have informed me that he's a Heisman candidate. It's been wonderful. I'm happy for the players. I'm happy for the coaches because they have put so much time and investment into this. And I'm happy for a large chunk of this community that, hasn't believed it was possible.
Sure.
And now it is, and it's happening. And for all of those people, I still think back to after the Alabama game, Chase, and I'll reference this for a long time, driving home and listening to folks call into 1025 and saying, I remember the 1969 game, or I remember the 1984 game. You're happy folks that have lived through those decades to get to moments like this. So I'm thrilled for all of those people. It's been a lot of fun, right? It is a ton of fun to call games for Diego Pavia because he's going to do something special.
He's different.
Yeah, it's just different. It's magical from start to finish with Diego. That stuff is fun, but I am genuinely happy for all of the people that get this opportunity, that have invested the time, the resources to come to games, to wear black and gold, to feel all of that sort of stuff. So I'm happy for all of the people kind of in this orbit.
It's funny. I was making the joke with you because you asked, like, are you enjoying this? Because I have grown up here. I've been a Vanderbilt fan since birth. I had two choices. It was an orange color or gold, and I went black and gold. And my mom still, fights me on that a little bit. But Dad was the Vandy fan, and I've never lived this. I've never seen anything like this. And I think when it really hit me was after this year's Alabama game, where I was disappointed, but I go, they had opportunities to win that game. Like, they were in that game. You take away a few mistakes, it's a different conversation. And those conversations weren't there before.
That's right.
And that's why things have truly changed. Is like, even though there are going to be losses, it's, are those the old, like, you're blown out 41-0 lot? No, they're not. Like, you're in these games, and I heard Clark talk about it of self-inflicted wounds and cleaning up some of those things. And that's where it really hit me of like, hey, this is real. This is a for real thing right now.
There's a couple of different things I could probably point to because I was inside Bryant-Denny Stadium a couple of seasons ago with Bryce Young, and it was 55-3. And one of the best things that happened for Vanderbilt in that game is the punter caused and recovered a fumble for Vanderbilt. The end of that game versus Alabama, the two sides shook hands with respect.
Yeah.
Both teams understood the fight that they were in that day. I know I took off the headset. I speak for myself only, feeling like I wish Alabama, had beaten us, Vanderbilt, better. It's not so much that Alabama didn't deserve to win the football game. They played well. They're a good football team. But you had wished you had left Bryant-Denny Stadium without a couple of those self-inflicted mistakes and then see how the game would have went, because you just walked away from it going, that wasn't Vanderbilt's A+ that they put out there that day. And that's okay. That's football. That's going to happen. And then the fact that, of course, we can kind of chuckle about it, but the fact that Vanderbilt takes down LSU, a top 10 team, and it's not a field storming. Like they had that countdown clock, and then everybody could come on the field afterward, and it was very
smart.
It was very. That's right. That's a financial decision there. But it became very social. It wasn't a storming. It was a social gathering of people that enjoyed the game together. Like we joked that you could have brought some food trucks onto the field and it would have felt like, Centennial Park Farmers Market or something like that, right? That's what it was. It wasn't a storming. So it is real at this point in time. We'll see where it goes, but look, they're not ranked number 10 just for giggles. College Game Day isn't here just to be cute.
Yeah.
Like they're here because Vanderbilt football is a real competitor for the college football playoff, and because they're one of, if not the best story in college football this season.
I get, as part of my job, I get with the ESPN affiliate, I get, hey, here's what games we're going to offer that you can run. And, it changes a lot throughout the season. They'll flex games in and out. And so I was looking at the schedule today. ESPN Radio is airing Vanderbilt, Texas next week. I mean, that right there shows you how different all of this is. And you have Diego Pavia, that's a household name.
Vanderbilt has been one of the featured teams on College Game Day twice in one season.
Correct.
Twice in one season.
That's never happened.
That's
I
correct.
guarantee you that's never happened.
No.
Eli Stowers, to me, is might be the best tight end in college football.
He's in the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, he's and then you have other players as well. And then let's look at this bigger picture. It's not just football. You have a men's basketball team that there's hype with them because they really turned it around last year, went to the tournament. Looks like they have reloaded. You have the women's basketball team that has a household name in Michaela Blakes that's going into her sophomore season that is going to be featured on game day, that everyone is like, hey, I got to go see her play. And then, we know what Tim Corbin and Coach Corbs now is kind of like, oh, I got company.
That's
all right.
That's right.
And is he like an unofficial coach? Because I see him on the sideline with football now, and like he and Diego yucking it up. I'm like, what is Corbs doing now?
They are genuine friends.
Yeah.
They are genuine friends. I think Tim Corbin, and this is no surprise, is attracted to ultra competitive people, fierce competitors, and that's what Diego Pavia is. And Diego Pavia is smart enough, along with Clark Lee, along with Jerry Kill, to use the resources at his disposal. And there's been kind of a natural gravitational pull between Diego Pavia and Tim Corbin, where they're just a resource for each other. And certainly Coach Corbin is a resource for Diego, and Clark is, and Jerry Kill, and all of that sort of stuff. I think Clark is attracted to people that are ultra competitors, and that's Diego Pavia through and through.
I think that's a really good way to put that, because that's Corbs. I mean, he's always been that way. And you look at some of the personalities that he's had on his team. Now, I don't think anybody is Diego. Like, Diego is just one of one.
That's right.
But and that's how he wants it to be. But, Tim Corbin has never shied away from having players that have talent, but also
Walker Buehler.
Right.
Freakish mindset when it comes to competition.
Yeah.
Alpha male sort of stuff.
Right.
That category. So, yeah, I think that's right in line with what Tim Corbin has always been about. Just mind-bending levels of competition, people that can kind of stare down the fire and step right through it.
I will ask you this, and then we'll get back more into football. Obviously, big news in the SEC baseball world yesterday with Tony Vitello accepting the San Francisco Giants managerial job. He's the first to take that direct jump from being a head coach in college baseball to being a manager. I know Corb said he was, happy for him and all of that, but this has become it's become more than just Tennessee Vanderbilt rival. Like, these two programs, I think there's respect, but it has been a rival, and so now that obviously changes with Vitello, moving on.
It changes in some extent, right?
Right.
Exactly what, I don't know. I think Vitello certainly earned this opportunity. He's done a tremendous job with that program. I mean, you and I have talked, and I've been on the show, I think, driving down to Knoxville. It's like, call it a spade a spade. Like, the programs are what they are. They're philosophically approached with those two head coaches in certain ways, and that's totally fine. It worked for Tony Vitello. It's worked for Tim Corbin for multiple decades. What this all means, I have no idea. I suspect Tennessee baseball is going to remain a very talented program. They're not just going to drop off a cliff at this moment in time because, number one, they've got too much talent, and number two, there's enough resources in college athletics, especially over in Knoxville, I suspect, to make them a very, very good program. But it's uncharted territory for them. Yeah. We'll see what happens. I'm not sitting here like feeling like all of a sudden Vanderbilt's going to run that rivalry like they did back in 2013 or whatever it was when Dave Serrano was the head coach for Tennessee. But we'll see what happens. I suspect they're going to stay good. Tony certainly has earned that opportunity, but I enjoy beating Tennessee as a black and gold person as much as anything. And that, man, goodness, those games in Knoxville this past season, there was so much. Like, I know it didn't end the way Vanderbilt baseball fans would have wanted, for sure, and for Tim Corbin and for the players. But if you're going to ask me all of the games that you pour your emotions into last season, there's 3 straight home walk-offs versus Bama, Kentucky. And I think I would point to the weekend victory in Knoxville as the most captivating moment of the entire season, of course, because of the backstory.
Yeah, 100%. I'll say this because I know you won't. I know Corbs won't. Corbs has 2 national championships,
right.
So I'm just going to say that.
But I mean, like, for now, he could have 3 at the end of the season.
He could.
We'll see what happens with Tony Vitello. And this is not a dig that it's not going to work in the pros. Who knows? There have been people that have at times gone to the professional ranks and then come back, whether it's Steve Spurrier or whoever. So let's see how that plays out throughout the course of the next 5 to 10 seasons.
I'll say this: I think this is great for baseball, for college, for pro, for everything, because baseball is one of those sports that for a very long time refused to evolve and refused to change. Yeah. And now they have done that. You have replay. You have the pace of play. You have a pitch clock.
When does the World Series start, by the way? I feel
tonight.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like the ALCS ended like what day was that? Monday or Tuesday?
Monday.
I don't know. Yeah. For baseball, 4 or 5 days off is a gigantic amount of time. So that's going to be a fun one too. You got the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. That'll be fun.
But I think no matter how this goes, I mean, he could fall flat on his face. He'll have any job
he's
he
got
wants.
A home. He's got a home somewhere.
Back.
He's earned too much respect in college baseball from a success point to, regardless of what happens in San Francisco, to think that provided everything that whatever it is just wins and losses on the field, he'll find a home somewhere if he needs it, or perhaps he's in San Francisco celebrating World Series in a couple of years. Right. I don't know. He's a really smart baseball mind and a really good coach. I think Vanderbilt fans would have their differences with the philosophy on how they get to point A to B, but he certainly has gotten to those points.
So here's the deal. We are at Party Foul, 2031 Broadway. We're right across from campus. I mean, you probably walked here.
I just parked right down the road.
Yeah, there you go. So you're close here. We're here until 6:00. DVD will be here. You have to come by and register to win a pair of tickets on or about the 50-yard line to the sold-out Vandy, Missouri game tomorrow. You got to come here and sign up. Now, you don't have to stay. We're going to announce the winner at around 5:45, but you got to come down here and register to win. So you got to come say hi. You got to come see us. We got the whole crew here for a sold-out game. So come by and see us. It's the brand new Party Foul, Vanderbilt, 2031 Broadway, right across from campus. It's the official new hangout spot for Vandy fans, students, and anyone craving Nashville hot chicken with a side of fun. We are here all day. Come by and see us. More with Andrew Allegretta next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game.
These guys have put a lot into it. They care a lot about it. I mean, it's hard in this world to maintain a laser focus for 24 hours. But the work we put in on Sunday, the work we put on today, was very purposeful, very intentional, and I can only measure what I see that way. And I'm pleased with how these guys are showing up, and I know that it's important to them that we go chase more.
That was Clark Lee talking about his program. Chase McCabe, Chasing Big Joe, Chase McCabe, and Andrew Allegretta with you today at Party Foul down here, 2031 Broadway, right across from campus. You can come get some chicken, come hang out. They just opened on Monday. This place is awesome. First time in here. This place is really cool. And here's the really important part. Come by and register to win a pair of tickets to tomorrow's sold-out Vanderbilt, Missouri game. We're going to draw those. You can come and register. You don't have to stay all day. We'll announce the winner at 5:45 or thereabouts. So come by because it's sold out. Game day's in town, which means is Coach Saban getting a welcome here on campus, or is he talked too much trash over the years?
I think we just enjoyed the fact that we got to play that particular clip after the Alabama game a season ago. And after that, it's all water under the bridge. But this restaurant is fantastic, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Several different locations here in town, but this is the new one down here on campus. So let's talk about Missouri for a second. Eli Drinkwitz, you talk about coaches that deserve credit for what they've done for their programs. Clark Lee obviously gets that here, but what Coach Drinkwitz has done, played in the Music City Bowl last year, Missouri is a tough out by all means, and he's done a good job of kind of rebuilding that program after losing so much after last year.
I'll be honest, when he took the Missouri job, however many years ago that was, I think 6. I think he's in his 6th season at Missouri. I was skeptical about it, not so much because of Drinkwitz, but it was one season at App State where he had a very good season, but he was taking over a program that felt pretty established. Yeah. Then he had to go to Missouri and to some extent build them back up, but he has done that and more. He is a tremendous coach. He's got an offensive scheme that is really challenging. If you're going to get into the X's and O's for tomorrow, they have this outstanding outside run stretch play that is the bread and butter of their offense. And they have done that consistently every single season that he has been there. It was part of his makeup as the offensive coordinator at North Carolina State. It was their makeup at App State when he was there as well. And they have the horses to run that play. It is really difficult. They've always had great running backs. They've got a good one this season in Ahmed Hardy, a sophomore from Mississippi. He's first in the conference in rushing yards, 840. They do a wonderful job with that outside zone stretch run play. And that's probably the whole game for Vanderbilt. The way that he has coached that, recruited to it, makes them a really difficult offense. 39 points per game for Missouri so far this season. That is 3rd in the conference. So they're a dangerous, dangerous team. They're top 15 in the country for a reason, just like Vanderbilt is top 10 in the country for a reason as well.
How have you seen Diego kind of change how he approaches games this year compared to last year? Because he talked about in the offseason of how he knew he needed to grow a little bit, and he's still himself, but there's been some maturity. And I feel like I have seen him maybe have a little bit of a different approach this year as opposed to last year.
Okay, so I'm curious what you've seen. I would tell you that if I had to say, there's probably a split path to go on that particular question. Some of it is going to be how he carries himself, and some of it is how he plays the football game.
Right.
I think if there is a perceived change for Diego, and I don't want to overspeak too much, but my understanding is certainly the way that he approaches his preparation every single week has been elevated, and every single game. It's not to say that he didn't work. It's not to say that he didn't study a season ago, but the focus, the intentionality of what is required from him every single day as Vanderbilt's starting quarterback, I think that has been elevated.
I would agree. That's what I was going to say. Right. I would agree with that.
And I think probably it's less about what he's doing on game day and more what he's doing on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to get ready for Saturday. I mean, he's still Diego Pavia. Like, I think he went with Theo Vaughn to a concert at Bridgestone at some point, not this week, last week, and they still were successful.
Did his mom go? Or?
I don't know. Who knows? That's I'll let you do the investigation on that particular question. I think as far as it concerns with the actual football game, he is still himself, right? Like, he has still found ways to create magic with his feet, but he is a better passer this season. Like, he can sit there and pick apart zone defenses better than he was a season ago. He is still going to be full of bravado. He's still going to make confidence-based plays. But his ability to see defenses and throw to windows, I think that has been elevated as well this season. The completion percentage says as much. I think he's like 70% completion percentage so far this season, which is up 10 or 15 points from his career average. 70.5 completion percentage for Diego Pavia. That's plus 10 on the completion percentage. So he's preparing in a slightly different way, I think, and he is a more complete quarterback this season as well.
And look, I like the chirping still there.
It's fine.
I mean, I have no even in a sense of, I think he learned from it a little bit with Alabama that, the chirping was there, and unfortunately he didn't back it up. I mean, they lost the game, but I think he learned a little bit from that. But still, he's being true to himself.
That's right.
And who he is. He's going to have that confidence. And everybody says the exact same thing about him. And if Big Joe was here, he'd back me up on this. He hates to lose. Yes. He hates losing more than he loves winning.
That's right.
And I love that.
That's a huge thing that a lot of coaches look for and scouts look for, both in football and baseball.
But a lot of people don't have that.
No, a lot of people don't. I've heard, goodness, like years ago, I remember talking with baseball scouts about what they put on their questionnaires for draft prospects. And it's like, do you like to win or hate to lose? And they're looking for the hate to lose answer in that prompt there. I am constantly perplexed at what people expect Diego Pavia to say. I don't find anything that he has ever said disrespectful toward an opponent. It is inwardly confident. It's like, yes, we believe that if even the Alabama week, if we play our best game, it won't be close. He didn't finger wag at Alabama. He didn't say anything derogatory about Tuscaloosa or Roll Tide. He just said, if we play our best football, it won't be close. First off, I don't understand any competitor that wouldn't have confidence. If you're stepping onto the field in between the white lines, you better believe that you are the best at that position as you look across the field at your opponent. If you don't, you are already beat. And then two, within his bravado, again, none of it is at the opponent. It's not the verbal equivalent of like tackling somebody and standing over them. None of it is that. So I've always been perfectly fine with what he has said. To say that he didn't come back to go 7-6, cool. Why would you come back to go 7-6? That doesn't make any sense to me either.
Andrew Allegretta is with us here on Chase and Big Joe. Eli Stowers gets all the, a lot of the talk when it comes to tight ends, but I've been impressed with Cole Spence. He's been that kind of that he pops up, but he makes plays. And I think that one of the reasons that Vanderbilt's been so successful is you have Diego, you have Alexander, you have Junior Sherrill, you have Eli Stowers, but then you have those other guys that don't get their name called as much, that they're doing their job as well.
I think, yes, Cole Spence is one of those guys. I think one of the true geniuses of this team and the past 2 seasons has been the offensive coordinator, Tim Beck.
100%.
I feel like he needs to get as much shine as anybody. He's been a wizard with his play calls. This offense that they have built over years and years that takes elements of the pistol, it takes elements of the option, it takes all of these things and brings it together. His feel for the game is outrageous. And I think one of the fun things calling this team is every single game, it could be somebody that you didn't expect that makes the big play. Like if I asked you to name who caught the game-winning touchdown versus Alabama a season ago, can you come up with it?
I don't remember.
Right. His name's Cam Johnson.
Right.
Cameron Johnson. He's a tight end. He's not on the team at the moment, which is okay. The point is he can pull anybody out of his back pocket at almost any given moment that makes a unique play. And Cole is certainly one of those. And I give Cole a ton of credit too, because he's someone that has dealt with health injuries. Tore his ACL a couple of seasons ago, was banged up a little bit in fall camp. He has kind of probably been seen as a blocking tight end on bulk throughout the course of his career. But the coaching staff always knew that he was capable of being a receiver. 6'7", 255. I'm happy for him that he has been able to stick it out. I remember a couple of seasons ago him walking after practice with one of our assistants, and everyone was starting to hit the transfer portal, and there's anxiety and all of that sort of stuff, and he decided to stay. And I'm really glad he had his moment versus LSU. A weekend to go, 3 career touchdown catches. I would love for 4, 5, or 6 by the end of Saturday tomorrow.
Yeah, that would be awesome. You good to stick around one more second?
Yeah, one more second.
Yeah, we'll have more with Andrew Allegretta. Coming up next, we're live here at Party Foul 2031 Broadway. Again, come down, see us, register to win a pair of tickets to tomorrow's sold-out game between Vandy and Missouri. We're here until 6 o'clock. We'll draw those tickets around 5:45, thereabouts. It's really cool to look on TV right now and see Coach Saban sitting with Pat McAfee inside the stadium there on the Pat McAfee show. So really cool. We'll have more with Andrew coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game.
Hey guys, Big Joe here again. Look, we have spent a lot of time talking about mental health on our show, and we are so grateful for all the men who have reached out in the last 2 years, but we have a lot of work still to do. We will not rest telling you how much our world is better because you are here and you have so much to live for. Unfortunately, we've all been affected by a friend or loved one who has suffered from depression and is no longer with us. That is why we're excited to partner with Unity Psychiatric Care, a wonderful place right here in Middle Tennessee for you to get well, and it works. Here's what you got to do. Just go to GameNashville.com, click on the Chase and Big Joe show, and there will be a link on the right side to Unity Psychiatric Care. So many have reached out to us. Now we have a partner that cares about you. And listen, you do not have to go through any of this alone. It's private and confidential, and they offer telehealth. And yes, they are based right here in Middle Tennessee. Or you can call 1-888-508-8002. That is 1-888-508-8002. Also, if you have a loved one who needs to talk and you are worried, you could be that person that changes their world. You can also go to GameNashville.com, click on the Chase and Big Joe tab, and you'll see all the information you need for Unity Psychiatric Care. Help is just around the corner, and you do not have to go through any of this alone.
Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Friday. Vanderbilt, Missouri. Coming up tomorrow, game day is in town. Andrew Allegretta hanging out with us on the program, and appreciate him. Anything special to tease for the pregame show tomorrow? Which will get underway, by the way. You'll be able to hear this on both 102.5 The Game and 94.9 The Fan. 1 o'clock is when everything gets started on both of those stations. And on 102.5 The Game, we will start Predators at 6:30 instead of 6 o'clock. So
first off, a genuine thank you to you guys and the Preds as well, because some of these time conflicts, they get a little awkward, and it's not unnoticed, all of that. I mean, I think every time that Kevin Ingram can put on a headset, I mean, I think that's pretty special. We're going to talk with Jordan Matthews in the pregame show. Now, the offensive consultant, the SEC legend for Vanderbilt. That was a fun conversation, just to get his perspective on coming back to the program and what he wants to do. I mean, we will always talk with Clark, have a conversation with Eli Stowers. So looking forward to it. I mean, it's all of this stuff is fun. I think we're involved in it. We're good to see it, the game day, and we love it. We're very, very supportive of it, but we're also, not to sound too much like a coach, like, we still prep the same way this week.
Sure. Oh yeah. It's a game.
That's right.
what it is. So, all right, Jordan's involved now. Earl Bennett
Yes.
is involved. Obviously, Clark's the head coach. Are
Yeah.
there any other?
I mean, Candace.
Candace, yes.
Football players.
That's what's so cool is seeing people want to come back, and
We've had a few others that were here for a little bit and have since moved on to other opportunities. Elijah McAllister, who played here, went to Auburn, has kind of helped out with some. Has been present. I don't want to say help out. He's been present with some kind of some of the off the field stuff for some guys. I don't, Barton's
Javon Hay.
Yeah, Javon Hay. I mean, he's been here for a while. I mean, that's
Yeah.
one of those guys that Clark kept around
Yeah.
during the transition. I mean, I know it doesn't fall into the category of former players, but Barton Simmons very much is a through and through Vanderbilt guy, despite the fact that he played football with Mike McDaniel at Yale. I don't know if you knew that, like Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel.
Bob Shoop, of course,
yeah,
was
he's back.
the coach here.
Yep, he's back helping Steve Gregory and that defensive coordinating staff. I mean, it's a really nice mix of people that understand what it means to be a Vanderbilt football player, and a lot of really smart people that have come in to augment the program, from Jerry Kill to Tim Beck to Steve Gregory to Coach Lee Pack, our special teams coordinator. He deserves a lot of credit. Nick Baldessari deserves a ton of credit in that scouting department as well.
Lemansky Hall,
Alabama captain.
Former Titan.
Oh, yeah.
Or Oiler.
Yeah.
He played with D-Mace.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
And he was a captain on the Alabama 93 team.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. He's helping out kind of players off the field and their personal development. He does a really good job with them.
You know what's so crazy to me is looking at, if you go and look at, especially in the SEC or in the Power Four, and you go look at the staff and the coaches for a team, it is crazy how many people it takes now. Like, whereas used to, you had what, 8 or 9 coaches. You didn't have a general manager. You didn't. I mean,
I'll be perfectly honest. Like, there are times out at practice where I don't know every single face out there,
right?
Which is not to be disrespectful. I guarantee you, they look at me and go, "Who's that guy?"
Yeah, who's that guy?
I don't. He's out here.
You're the one that. Calls
I got to listen to you on our social recaps. But everybody is really significant and all of that too. Like, it didn't grow just for the fun of it. Like, it grew with purpose.
Necessary.
Yeah,
it's 100% necessary. But look, tomorrow, I mean, this whole thing has been special. Tomorrow's going to be special. This is sellout number. Have they all sold out this year?
Utah State did not.
Okay.
But Georgia State, Charleston Southern did. And then I think everything else the rest of the way,
which is awesome,
is as well.
Which is,
I believe so. Don't quote me on that. Maybe Kentucky hasn't, but I think they're all sellouts at this point.
Yeah, and the stadium looks awesome.
It's great.
When you hear national TV talking about how nice it is, like that's a huge compliment.
I'll put on my black and gold for a second. Everything that people have done, from Chancellor Deermeyer to Candace to Clark. It is not, because I've worked in other places, man. I'm just telling you the truth here. And if you don't have true alignment from chancellor / president down,
Yep.
and if there starts to be space in all of that, it gets difficult.
Yeah.
Just to shoot straight, like what's going on at Virginia Tech. I'm not saying that anybody is to blame. I spent 8 years there, right? So I've got some background. I'm not blaming anybody at all. But they never got all of that moving in the same direction at the right time together. Like again, everybody over there is doing their darndest, and I know those people to an extent. Not that anybody's listening to Nashville radio in Blacksburg. If you don't have that level of alignment, things can't happen.
Right.
It can't. It just can't. And it doesn't. None of this functions without the green light and support from Chancellor Deermeyer going back 5 years ago. I mean,
Yep.
I remember saying that after the Alabama game, like the vision that so many people had back in 2021 was having its moment against Alabama in First Bank Stadium, and it continues to have its moment about what is possible. And there's a lot of reasons that you invest in athletics. One of the ones that I've always appreciated that Daniel Deermeyer talks about is what it means to bring a community together. Again, having worked in Blacksburg, you can get a lot of people together because it's a small town. You can have those. It's harder when you're in a city. It is harder to get everybody together because you're all kind of split and fractured and whatever. I mean, just look at UCLA. UCLA has a hard time getting people to the Rose Bowl and bringing that stuff in. But because of his past, Deermeyer saw what athletics can do for the spirit and the community of a university. And what we are experiencing right now is that belief in practice and happening. So, I mean, that's I get that comes across as, puff, but it's
Not at all.
But it's the reality.
Sure.
You cannot find this level of success without a lot of people moving in the right direction together.
Andrew, thanks for coming to hang out. Looking forward to everything tomorrow and hopefully another win.
Thank you, Chase.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. Anchor down should be fun. I have no earthly idea what's going to happen, but
you're just the play-by-play guy.
I just
You
whatever.
just talk
I
about
yell into a microphone about sports once a week is what I do.
Tell our guy Ladarius.
I will. Yeah, absolutely.
Proud of him as well.
Yeah, he's done awesome, man.
Andrew Allegretta, he will be on the air starting at 1 o'clock tomorrow for the pregame show again on both 102.5 The Game and 94.9 The Fan. We're able to bring it to you on both tomorrow. We're here at Party Foul, 2031 Broadway, right across from the campus, and you can come by, register to win a pair of tickets to the sold-out Vanderbilt, Missouri game tomorrow afternoon. So please come by, register to win those. Locally born, Nashville proud. This is the neighborhood Party Foul for Midtown. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Friday. We are live at Party Foul, 2031 Broadway, right across from campus. They are the official new hangout spot for Vandy fans, students, and anyone craving Nashville hot chicken with a side of fun. They are steps from the action. They're a perfect pre or post game stop for hot chicken, boozy slushies, and high energy vibes. So please come by and check us out because I'm here, and then DVD is going to be here later afternoon. You can stop by and register for a pair of tickets to see the sold-out Vanderbilt, Missouri game tomorrow. We're probably going to draw those around 5:45. You got to come down and sign up, and then we will announce the winner. You don't have to be present to win once we announce it around 5:45, but you got to come down here and register. You can't call in and register. You got to physically come down here. So please do that. Going to be a lot of fun tomorrow at First Bank Stadium, and going to be really, really cool to see. A couple of Titans notes. They have signed wide receiver Mason Kinsey from the practice squad to the active roster. Obviously very thin at wide receiver right now. Now, I would guess that they'll probably still elevate somebody because Calvin Ridley's out, Simmons is out, Hance is out, and Bryce Oliver is out. So they are all out for the Titans. Paul Kuharsky said, I don't expect the Titans to go into the Colts game with only 4 wide receivers. I expect an elevation on Saturday. So, again, Mason Kinsey has been signed to the active roster, and Mason Kinsey is a guy that, like, he's just stuck around. That is for sure. So we'll see what kind of impact he can have on Sunday. So right now, you got Io Manor, DK, Van Jefferson, and Kinsey. That's it. So I think and Dr. Crane, I'll bring you in on this. I think we're all on the bus now. Bring up Restrepo.
Absolutely. I mean, at this point, it's a free ticket to get on the bus because the Titans have no wide receivers. So, I mean, you have to get on the Restrepo bus because it's the only way to, not victory, but it's the only way to happiness right now.
I agree. I mean, what do you got to lose at this point? You got nothing to lose. Now, I'll tell you what they're going to do. They're going to call up Prochet. That's what's going to happen. But I would give Restrepo an opportunity, the familiarity with Cam Ward. I don't care if, he's too slow for the NFL according to the combine and all that. This team is not good. You have absolutely nothing to lose by doing it. So you don't have to sit there and bang the drum of the NFL told you he's not good enough. Well, it doesn't matter. Just do it. Like what does it hurt at this point? That's my thing.
And adding to that, like if the Titans were a little bit better, like if they weren't only a one-win team, if they won like possibly 3 games, and you bring up Restrepo, that opens up the opportunity for opposing teams like, well, there's no tape on Restrepo in the NFL. Looks like we're going to have to go look at some Miami tape and see what their chemistry is like in certain coverages. And then that's when you can kind of start manipulating your play calls in the NFL if you're Mike McCoy or Bo Hardigree or whoever's calling the plays, because then there's 2 different levels to that. Oh, are we the opposing team's thinking, are we going to game plan for those Miami plays? Or are we game planning for certain plays they did in the NFL currently? So it's just a different fold to all this.
615-737-1025. That's our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Joey from Gallatin says, Strep. 2646. Restrepo is going to come in and shine and be one less draft pick we have to worry about. I'm not ready to go that far, but I like the optimism. I don't think that, but I'm with you that I like the optimism. 0862 says Jerry Rice wasn't the fastest wide receiver either. Are we comparing Restrepo to Jerry Rice now?
I guess so. I mean, that's like going from 0 to 100.
I see what you're saying. I definitely see what you're saying. But I would do it. I don't think it hurts anything, and it gives Cam, familiarity and maybe some confidence at the same time, which is exactly what they need. He needs to do.
And
so,
going back to the game planning of it all, Chase, I mean, start looking at Gunnar Helm and Chingakonkwo, because if teams start saying, oh, there goes Restrepo, he's called up, or they're starting to channel these younger wide receivers, that opens up opportunities for those tight ends to really flourish as well.
Yeah. This came out about 3 hours ago. We had to bring out the stars while in Nashville. This is from College Game Day. Country Music Hall of Fame inductee Kenny Chesney and multi-CMA award winner, 15-time Grammy nominee, and Vanderbilt grad Dirks Bentley will both perform on game day this Saturday. So you're getting Bargatze as the picker, and then Kenny Chesney and Dirks Bentley will be performing as well. So it should be pretty cool down here at Vanderbilt. We're watching the Pat McAfee show. He and Nick Saban are inside Vanderbilt Stadium right now, or First Bank Stadium, I'm sorry, doing the show. So that's pretty interesting to see. But again, we're live at Party Foul here on Broadway, 2031 Broadway, right across from campus. Come down, register to win a pair of tickets to the sold-out Vandy, Missouri game. We're going to be here until 6 o'clock. We're going to do that drawing around 5:45. You don't have to be present to win, but you do have to come down and register to win. So please come down and do that. Coming up next, we will get hot and heavy into the Titans. Jill Jelnick from Fox 17 going to join at the bottom of the hour. It's Chasing Big Joe live from Party Foul at Vanderbilt, 102.5 The Game. Hour number 2, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Friday. We're live at Party Foul here, 2031 Broadway in Midtown. And we have a pair of tickets on the line. You've got to come register for them between Vandy and Missouri. We'll be giving those away later this afternoon. So definitely want to come check that out. DVD will be here and have your chance to win. But got to come down here and register, and then we'll announce the winner around 5:45 this afternoon. No Big Joe today. He is down in Mississippi seeing his granddaughter on her first birthday, or for her first birthday. It was actually yesterday. So I am flying solo with Dr. Crane back at the studio. Jill Jelnick, Fox 17, will join us at the bottom of the hour to talk more about the Titans. Teron Davenport putting out their Titans interim coach again. Mike McCoy rolled out Calvin Ridley, Jeffrey Simmons, Blake Hansen, Bryce Oliver. TBD on Arden Key, who missed practice today, and they have signed Mason Kinsey from the practice squad, and we'll put him on the active roster. But only 4 receivers are active. My guess is they will call up somebody on Sunday, and hopefully that somebody is Xavier Restrepo, who I think it should be. So I think a lot of people think that. On our text line, 2438, and you can call or text at 615-737-1025, driven by WilsonCountyHonda.com. Strep is just a slower version of Lad McConkey. It isn't going to hurt Cam to have him out there. It'd probably help him to have somebody that he knows actually catch the ball and throw to him. So that's what we were saying. What do we really expect Sunday, though? It's the late game, 3:25 in Indianapolis. The line, last I looked, I think was 14 or 14 and a half. And Jeffrey Simmons is out. I have no faith whatsoever in the Titans on Sunday. I hate feeling that way, but that's just where I'm at this point. I think it's 14 and a half. I think the Colts more than cover that. I think they win by 3 touchdowns. The Titans have no offense, and the best player on the team and the defense isn't going to play. Plus, what pass rush is left? I mean, Oladejo's hurt. Arden Key, I don't feel confident in now, that he's going to play. I mean, I think they're going to get slaughtered. What about you, Dr. Crane?
I mean, yeah, they're probably going to get slaughtered, but at the same time, I saw a stat this morning, a percentage stat about Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard splitting the backfield. And I think through the first 4 or 5 weeks, Pollard's taken over 50% of the snaps, but with Tajay Spears back there this past Sunday against the Patriots, he had 41% of the snaps. So I think if the Titans can even out that backfield a little bit and or give a little bit more touches for Tajay Spears out of the backfield, to me, it's all about managing the clock. If the Titans want to keep it close, you got to keep it on the ground. I mean, you know me, I'm a running game fiend, but this is just something for the Titans. They just got to stick to the run game. And unfortunately for them, they don't have much of that. But that's the only thing really going for them because they don't have any wide receivers.
Our good friend Music City Bets has texted me and said, Tyler Warren is scoring 2 touchdowns Sunday. Lock me in.
Maybe. I think if there's anybody getting multi-touchdowns, it's, Jonathan Taylor. And I think it'd probably be 3 because there's no defensive front. I mean, all you got is what? Tavondre Sweat and Sebastian Joseph Day, and that's about it.
I love this headline, too. So Stephen Holder, who writes for ESPN, covers the Colts. The headline is Dirty Runs and Second Half Surges. Why the Colts' Jonathan Taylor is the ultimate closer. And I heard Jake and Connor say that they think he could have 2 bills, over 200 yards rushing Sunday. They might. I mean, to your point, there's no defensive front. So, I mean, he might actually have that.
When Jonathan Taylor gets past the first level and then he gets to that second level, it's literally a 70-30 game at that point, percentage-wise. 70% on Jonathan Taylor, 30% for the defense. Because, everything just opens up for him. Literally and figuratively. Everything just opens up for him. It's incredible.
615-737-1025. What is your prediction 2181. You can expect a massacre. 0862. An ass whipping. That I think. Look, I think that's kind of the general consensus. I do, and that's why I go back to the Restrepo thing, because there's not a lot of positives for this team right now, and you need to give Cam as much of a positive as you possibly can. And if that is a receiver that, now is he gonna be like Joe Flacco and Jamar Chase a few weeks ago? Probably not. But if you can get him in there and just give Cam a little bit of a safety blanket, put him in a comfort zone that he's not really going to have much of, then do it. That's what I say. Dustin in Hopkinsville says they're being gracious. 14.5 points. Jonathan Taylor, 225, 3 touchdowns. Michael Pittman, a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, 1 receiving touchdown. So he thinks Taylor's going to have 4 total touchdowns on Sunday.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Watch us. Okay. Now, bear with me on this because I don't actually believe this, but would this not be, because we're sitting there just saying this is going to be a bloodbath, would this not be your typical, the Titans go up there and steal one?
I mean, that's why I mentioned the running game for the Titans. If they can split the backfield and just manage the clock, that keeps them in the game. And you're right, Chase. This could be possibly a game where the Titans say, you know what? We're going to go in there with just a go have fun mentality and see what happens. And it could be backyard football for Cam Ward. Like we've seen the past couple of weeks, the most success he's had has been that backyard football mentality he's brought to the game.
You're right. He needs to hold on to the football when he does that. But, if he can do that, then I think that you could possibly have something there. Dustin in Hopkinsville, maybe Pollard will sprain his ankle and Chestnut and Spears will go off. Why would you wish that on that man? Pollard's been good.
He's a trade asset. They need trade assets.
They do. They certainly do. How are things back there, Dr. Crane? You sound busy.
A little busy, answering some phones here and there. Not too shabby.
Okay. Well, what do you? Yeah, let's take some calls. 615-737-1025. Do you think are you with the text line? Do you think this is going to be a massacre, or do you think that the Titans actually have a chance? I don't know if anybody's going to say they actually have a chance. Unfortunately, I just don't feel like that is in the cards. Mason Kinsey getting the call up, that's great. And look, at this point, leave him up the rest of the year. He's one of those guys that, this is what this team is going to look like. And if you can get Ridley healthy and trade him before the deadline, then do that. But I doubt that'll be the case.
Chase, I do have a question for you. When do you think the Titans start making moves at the deadline? Like before the deadline is over, obviously November the 9th, but like when do you think they're going to actually start making moves towards other teams saying, hey, fun on a call here, fun on a call there, let's make a move right now?
I think they're probably already taking phone calls. But again, it's you can want to dance, but you got to find the dance partner. And if nobody wants to dance with you about, then you can't do it. But I think my guess is if Borgonzi's the one doing the trade, he's going to have the price a little high right now. He's going to see what people say about that. And but my guess is in the next week or so, probably after this weekend is when I could really see it starting, if that's the direction they go. I don't trust this team to do the right thing, and that is sell off as many assets as you can, before the deadline. And I've said it. I think in my mind, the rule of thumb is that it's a 3 years, or less in experience. You hang on to those guys, and then you hold your price for what you want for a guy like Simmons. And then there's some guys that you take what you can get, but you basically say anybody from this draft class is off the table. Anybody from last year's draft class is off the table, and maybe talk about the year before. But, you want to make this a young team and continue to build and develop these draft picks that you have. That's how I view it.
That's fair. Looking at this Titans roster, and you mentioned Arden Key earlier, that's what frustrates me as somebody looking from the outside looking in, is that you want those guys healthy going into these trade opportunities, because if they're not healthy, then those values go from a potential 4th-round pick to a 6th-round pick, and you're then scrambling to package other players when you shouldn't have to, and then they go play for the other team you trade them to, and they're healthy in a week and a half, and you get screwed out of a deal.
Right. 615-737-1025. We'll continue to take your calls and your texts on that. Again, we are at Party Foul, 2031 Broadway, right next to Vanderbilt, that you can come by here and have some great Nashville hot chicken. They have hot chicken, boozy slushies, zero chill. That's the Party Foul promise. You can also register for a pair of tickets to the sold-out Vanderbilt, Missouri game tomorrow. You got to come by and register to win those. And then we will announce the winner around 5:45 on the air, and then contact you. You don't have to be present to win necessarily, but you got to come down here and register to win. Coming up next, there's something that gets talked about every year when it comes to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and it gets a lot of consternation, I guess. But it needs to happen, and I'll tell you why. We'll do that coming up next. Chasing Big Joe, live at Party Foul, 102.5 The Game. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, the game on this Friday, live at Party Foul, 2031 Broadway, right across from Vanderbilt's campus. We're giving away a pair of tickets to tomorrow's sold-out Vandy, Missouri game. You got to come down here and register. Also eat. I just ordered some cheese curds. Very excited about that. And see this great staff that is here today. And you got to register for those tickets, and then we'll announce a winner around 5:45. Again, the game is sold out. So we're going to hook you up with a pair of tickets, but you got to come see us here at Party Foul. DVD will be here as well. Taking your game predictions for the Titans and the Colts coming up on Sunday, 615-737-1025. Sam in the Burrow says the Titans win on a 50-plus yard field goal. If you think the Titans are easy, the Colts probably do as well. That's an interesting take, Sam. I hope you're right. I think you're going to be wrong, but I hope you're right. That's an interesting one, though. 2518. Daniel Jones, 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor, 150 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. So 5 total touchdowns by the Colts, according to 2518. Let's go to the phones. Kenny, the mailman, has a game prediction. Kenny, what's up?
How you doing, good friend?
I'm doing fantastic.
Don't you worry at all about being alone. Your legion of fans is going to line up and call in and save the day with Big Joe not there.
They're helping me out.
And, you know, he's going to be so mad missing the remote at a restaurant.
He is upset that he knows there's food and he's missing out on it. So I'm eating in his honor.
You know what? A lot of people are missing the one great equalizer in football. Nothing can stand in the way when this happens. When this happens, it absolutely changes the game. I'm looking for about 3 inches of rain in the dome, swirling wind, muddy artificial turf. If we get that, we're on equal footing, brother.
Well, I don't know how that's going to happen, Kenny, but I like your optimism.
Hey, you're laughing, but the Minnesota Dome collapsed, didn't it?
It did, the Metrodome. That's true. With snow.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah. Thank you, Kenny. Have a great weekend.
All right. You have a great day.
Kenny the mailman. Always love it when he calls in. 1382, Titans versus Colts. In one word for Titans fans, unwatchable. Probably so. 2181, the backyard football mentality doesn't work at this level. Does anything work at this level for them? Dustin says, I think I'm going to clean my crawl space around 325 on Sunday. Justin and Greenbrier, this game is going to be worse than last week. The Titans should have torn this team down to the studs 2 seasons ago, but they had inexperienced leaders just throwing junk at the wall to see if it would stick. Thank you, Rand Carthon. And those of you wondering where Big Joe is, he is going down to Mississippi for his granddaughter's first birthday. So he has an excused absence today. That's why he's not here. Andrew from Dover, I put the Titans defense on my bench this week because I'm worried about Jones and Taylor. I believe Indy will end up beating them to a point. Don't play. Oh, okay. Sorry. Beating them to a point where they don't play the fourth quarter. It's going to be that bad. I do think Jonathan Taylor is going to be tough. I just think he is, Danny Dimes or Indiana Jones or whatever you want to call him is going to be, he's going to do his thing because it's worked this year with the Colts. But I think Taylor is going to be able to run at will just because they don't have, they just don't have a defensive front to stop him. Matt Nashville, prediction, there will be blood. Yeah, probably so. What I was going to bring up, though, and, we've talked about this with John McClain several times, as, the Pro Football Hall of Fame are slowly whittling down the candidates, that will lead to this year's class or to the 2026 class. And Titans put on their website that longtime owner K.S. Bud Adams is among those who have moved one step closer to election of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The Hall's Contributor Blue Ribbon Committee announced that it had trimmed an original list of 32 down to 21, and that list includes Bud Adams. The others are Rune Aldridge, Howard Cosell, John Facenda, Mike Giddings, Ralph Hay, Frank Bucko Kilroy, Don Klosterman, Eddie Cotel, Robert Kraft, Virginia McCaskey, John McVeigh, Clint Murchison, Art Rooney Jr., Clark Shaughnessy, Seymour Swifoff, Amy Trask, Jack Vanessi, Lloyd Wells, John Wooten, and Buddy Young. I think there is a lot of consternation with Bud Adams. There are a lot of people, especially in the Houston area, that do not like Bud Adams. There might be some people in the Nashville area that don't care for Bud Adams. But I don't think you can properly tell, and John has said this before, I don't think you can properly tell the story of the National Football League without Bud Adams. And if that's truly the case, then to me, that is all you really need to say that he's worthy of consideration for the Hall of Fame. Now, you can sit there and say, what has the team won? The team's made one Super Bowl appearance. They've won one AFC championship. They won 2 AFL titles, I believe, in the old AFL. But in the NFL, they haven't won a whole lot. Okay, that is a fair argument. But again, Bud Adams, along with Lamar Hunt, were 2 integral pieces in creating the AFL that eventually merged with the NFL and made the NFL what it is today. The formation of the AFL was announced in Bud Adams' office back in 1959. So I again, and you know, Hunt's in. He was put in the Hall of Fame in 1972. Ralph Wilson, who was a key part of the AFL, was elected in 2009. So, you know, Bud Adams was able to get Billy Cannon to come play for the AFL instead of the NFL. So I just, you know, and he said, there's a quote in here, Jim Wyatt put in the article from an interview with the Tennessean in 2013, back when Jim was with the Tennessean. The Titans owner wondered if he'd ever join football's hallowed halls. Adams, of course, passed away later that year. He says, quote, besides the playoffs, one thing I'd like to accomplish is to be considered in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I realize there may be some hard feelings about me moving the team to Nashville, but I truly feel my body of work. I don't like tooting my own horn, Adams says, but at my age and now being the senior NFL owner, there's no one from back in those days that can really speak up for me now. That was Bud Adams. I think he should be put in. He whether you like him or you don't, I think he's deserving of it. We'll see what they end up doing. I mean, there's a lot of great names. Howard Cosell is an original member of Monday Night Football. Certainly is one. Robert Kraft and his work with the Patriots and owning the Patriots. You know, Virginia McCaskey, who just passed away earlier this year at the age of 102. But I just think Bud Adams deserves consideration. We'll see if he actually gets it or not. I know John McClain has put a lot of work into that. But
Chase, do you think Amy makes some moves, like a front office move, if he gets into the Hall of Fame in some capacity? Because like she's fulfilling her father's dream of being the owner of this team, not really her dream. So in my brain, I'm thinking maybe she fulfills the dream of taking that award for him on behalf of him. And then, you know, even if they don't win a Super Bowl, maybe that is the highest accolade you could achieve as an owner. Like, do you think she makes a move after that in some capacity?
Like sells the team? Not
sells the team, but maybe hands it over to another family member and or somebody that may just know a little bit more of it.
No, I don't. I mean, I see what you're saying, but no. I think she's too much like him. I think whether people want to say that or not, I think she ultimately wants to win. So no, I think it stays the way it is right now. Back to this weekend. 1701 says, "Can we not just forfeit and save face?" Unfortunately, I don't think so. I don't think that is going to work. Coming up next, we're going to talk to Jill Jelnick. She's the sports director at Fox 17. We'll talk about the Titans and also preview a little high school football with her and Vandy. Coming up next here on 102.5 The Game, live from Party Foul, 2031 Broadway. Come by, register to win a pair of tickets to the sold-out Vanderbilt, Missouri game. We're here until 6 o'clock today, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Friday, live at Party Foul, down here by Vanderbilt, 2031 Broadway. Come by, register to win a pair of tickets to see the sold-out Vanderbilt, Missouri game coming up tomorrow. And again, coverage starting at 1 o'clock on both 102.5 The Game and 94.9 the Fan. Let's bring in my good friend Jill Jelnick, sports director at Fox 17, and of course, proud host of Football Frenzy Live, which you can watch tonight, the latest on high school football. Jill, what's up? How you doing?
Hey, happy Friday. I love that Caddyshack walkout song. If I could go back in time and change my walkout song, I think it might have to be I'm All Right. But you're right. We have tons of great stuff going on tonight. High school football, yes, we'll get into that. Vandy, I heard there's like a big game. The Commodores are playing, whatever. And then, oh, yeah, Titans signed up for a Slaughterfest on Sunday. So where do you want to start, Chase?
Well, I know you went over to Vanderbilt. They had a college game day, I guess, media availability with Kirk Herbstreit and Reese Davis. How was that?
It was good. It was good. And, of course, Kirk. Don't forget Kirk's dog, Peter. He made his special appearance as well. Yes, as beautiful in person as he is on TV. No, it was a great morning. We got out there, got to check out the game day set, which is already up and running. Looks great. And shout out to their coordinator, Amanda Brooks, for setting everything up for us. She showed us around, gave us a nice tour. And then we got to talk to Kirk a little bit about, obviously, the game and talk about a turnaround for him. He called the prime game last night, flew in this morning to do tapings, all that fun stuff, and then obviously gets back to work again tomorrow. He's so excited, Kirk Herbstreit, for this Vanderbilt program. He's lived in Nashville since 2011, and he talked a lot about just how impressed he is with Clark Lee. He said, I think the media gives a lot of love to Diego Pavia for the resurgent, and rightfully so, right? And we also see Diego Pavia. He talks to the cameras very well too. But Kirk's point was what Clark Lee has done at Vanderbilt in the short amount of time is close to unprecedented, and it's no wonder that he's being put on all these watch lists for Coach of the Year, et cetera, et cetera. So it was a great conversation with Kirk. He thinks it's going to be a great environment down at the Wyatt Lawn tomorrow. I'll be there. I think it's going to be a crazy environment too.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully the Commodores are able to come out on top and inch closer to a potential college football playoff spot.
I'm not sure if this came up with Kirk or with Reese, and I don't even know if you've heard this or not, but we had Tim Hasselbeck on last week on our show. And, it was right after Brian Callahan was fired, and we were talking about different candidates for the Titans, and he went out of his way to bring up Clark Lee. And I hadn't even thought about that to this point. And so I'm wondering if any of these experts and what you think about could Clark Lee, based on what he's done at Vanderbilt, work not just with the Titans, but in the NFL overall?
It did not come up in our availability with Kirk Herbstreit. I can't speak to Reese Davis, but it did not come up earlier this morning. However, I'm not surprised. Clark Lee's name is basically on the table for any major head coach opening. It's still early in the season. Let's keep that in mind. But yes. I think it's no surprise that he is being talked up and potentially considered for the NFL level. Now, whether or not he wants to make that move, you have to talk to him. I think he would be wonderful. But the example, the resume he's been, like I said, what he's been able to do at Vanderbilt with, again, you have a lot of restrictions when it comes to GPA, when it comes to NIL. All of these things are moving pieces. The fact that he's been not able to navigate the storm at Vanderbilt and have success in easily the best college football conference in the nation, it speaks to itself. And, it's funny, Chase, you bring that up, and I can't help but think of our buddy Tony Vitello, who made the jump from college to pro, right? And all it takes, he's the first one to make that jump without any previous MLB manager experience. And all it takes is one person to make that historic move. Could it be Clark Lee at this level? Sure. He wouldn't be the first. We've seen it now so many times before, from college coaches to the NFL. But all I'm saying is it wouldn't be crazy. Now, whether or not that's something Coach Lee wants, not sure. I think he's really proud of what he's built at Vanderbilt. He has a great relationship with Candace Story-Lee, who's done a great job of supporting him through turmoil and some tough times, including that ugly, 9-27 start to his first 3 years. So he's worked really hard to get here. I don't know if he's ready to just move up and move onward just yet.
Jill Jelnick is with us from Fox 17. I feel like you're going to really like this question because I know how near and dear this is to you. Michaela Blakes is going to be featured on game day as well. Nate Bargatze will be the picker, but she's going to get some time. And I was talking to Andrew Allegretta earlier about how Vanderbilt is now. You're not just talking about the coaches. You're not just talking about the people that are involved in running the programs. Diego Pavia is a household name. Michaela Blakes is a household name. How special is that to see what she has done now going into her sophomore year with the women's basketball program and how she's now going on College game day and being featured, and so many people are excited to see her play. I know you have to be excited about that.
It speaks volumes. It speaks to the sport of women's basketball growing. Obviously, it speaks to Michaela Blake's talent and just stardom, winning the Tamika Catchings National Freshman of the Year last year and choosing to stay at Vanderbilt. It speaks to Vanderbilt athletics and athletic director Candace Story-Lee, how she's not only been able to bring in good coaches, recruit good coaches, but also keep good coaches, provide them with whatever they need to keep good players. What they are doing at Vanderbilt is not just impressive, but it's almost unprecedented because they do have restrictions with GPA, with academics. They have so much that they have to deal with. It has made it difficult to keep good athletes over the years, but Candace Story-Lee has found somewhat of a formula for success, and it's working. We're seeing it pay off. And it's a really exciting time. Like I said, not just women's basketball, not just women's sports, but obviously college football. And then you just see that trickle down effect to Nashville as a whole. Nashville's never been considered a college town, and I'm not about to go on the radio and say it's a college town just yet. but Vanderbilt has always been grouped in Tennessee. They're in the SEC country with Vandy and Auburn and Alabama. Vanderbilt is quickly owning this city when it comes to college athletics. And I think obviously the football season with Clark Lee and the rise of stars such as Michaela Blakes has been crucial in that rise.
Talking with Jill Jelnick, Fox 17 sports director, the frenzy tonight, and it's hard to believe that the regular season in high school football is winding down. Only 2 weeks left tonight and next week before it's playoff time here in Tennessee. I know it, and it's a full slate of games that you all will be breaking down tonight.
Yes, so excited, and it's so funny how we start week one, and it's a 14-week show for us, but I swear, Chase, just like you alluded to, it goes by so quick. This week might be the most exciting week yet because it's the penultimate week of the regular season. Technically week 10, right? All high school teams played 10 games plus a bye, and a couple of games that we have we have about 8 to 9 games on our lineup tonight. One game that I'm really excited about is actually our Friday night rivals game, Antioch against Clarksville. The Antioch Bears,
yes,
they are 8-0. They are having easily its best season, 8-0 for the first time in 62 years. So they have a chance to win the Region 5 6A championship tonight. That's a big one. Brentwood at Independence. Brentwood needs to beat Independence in order to compete with Ravenwood for the title next week. And then our game of the week is a special one, Chase. Not a lot of people are talking about FCA, Franklin Christian Academy, and that's because it's their first full year of TSSAA football, actual varsity football, and they have a chance to clinch a playoff spot tonight in their inaugural year. So very, very, very cool storyline, tons of great storylines. We'll break it all down on the Frenzy tonight after game one of the World Series on Fox 17.
You mentioned Antioch, their quarterback, Andre Adams. I have seen him play live. That kid is legit. Vanderbilt is in on him. I think he's been offered by Vanderbilt in other schools as well. He's going to continue to get offers, but and he's only a junior, but he is, oh my goodness, he is fun to watch. So that'll be cool that's the game of the week.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. And then obviously our high school football show will go up into semifinals of the playoffs. So we still have frenzy going. It doesn't end after the regular season. So the best is yet to come, my friend.
I have to ask. I feel like I told you, we would talk a little Titans, and we've just kind of pushed that to the end.
Do we
I mean,
have to? Do we
I
have
know,
to?
I know. Is it Jeffrey Simmons is out? Calvin Ridley's out. They've called up Mason Kinsey and signed him to the active roster. They don't
Correct.
have a pass rush. We don't know about Arden Key yet. I mean, is Jonathan Taylor and Danny Dimes, are they just going to run and pass all over the Titans on Sunday?
The answer is yes. The answer is yes. This is not only just because this is a Titans team that just continues to spiral downward and is riddled by injuries too, but also because this is a very good Colts team. This is one of the best Colts teams we've seen in recent years. They lead the league in average points per game. They average 33 points a game. And you know where the Tennessee Titans are? On the complete opposite end of the spectrum when it comes to points per game. They are dead last, averaging not even 14 points. So this is I would love to brand this as a David and Goliath matchup. And I did last night in my sportscast. I said, that's okay. Us against the wall mentality, right? And then I woke up this morning and saw the injury report and it said, nope, not going to happen anymore. Okay, who's next? Yep. So that's I lost all my optimism, Chase. I'm sorry. I can't always be that optimistic reporter, but the Titans are making it hard on me.
I feel you on that one, Jill. Appreciate you joining the show today. Have fun with the frenzy tonight, and we will see you very soon.
Thank you, my friend. Have a great weekend.
You too. Jill Jelnick, sports director, Fox 17, joining us here on the program. And again, check out Football Frenzy live coming up tonight when all the games are done on Fox 17. And you can get a recap of all the high school football. We'll have that on the radio side with the Game Blitz after our Metro Schools Game of the Week presented by Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers tonight. White House at Pearl Cone, going to be a good one. And Connor, and you're on tonight, right, Dr. Crane?
Yes, sir. After the broadcast, I will be down here in the studio.
Nice. So looking forward to that with the Game Blitz starting then here on 102.5 The Game. Nick Saban has spoken about something. We'll discuss that coming up next. Chasing Big Joe live today from Party Foul 2031 Broadway down here at Vandy. Come by, register to win a pair of tickets to the sold-out Vandy, Missouri game, which is coming up tomorrow. We're here until 6 o'clock today, 102.5 The Game. Chase and Big Joe live today at Party Foul, 2031 Broadway, right across from campus. Grab a slushie, grab some hot chicken, hang out with yours truly, Chase McCabe, and then DVD is going to be here coming up after us. And it's a great spot to soak up the game day energy, an easy walk from campus and the stadium. So come by here before and after tomorrow's game. But you need to come here today because you can register to win. We got Sean and Chad running around. You can register to win a pair of tickets to tomorrow's sold-out game. So you definitely want to come by and do that. We'll announce that winner around 5:45 this afternoon. I've been eating the cheese curds. They're fantastic. Going to eat some chicken here in a little bit. But the brand new location here in Midtown at Party Foul, definitely want to come hang out. So I saw this on Twitter. Nick Saban does the Pat McAfee show on Friday, and they're at Vanderbilt Stadium, at First Bank Stadium right now, inside. And Saban was asked, I guess, point blank about his future. And on 3, put it out there. He says, quote, "I want to stay retired. I do not want Jimmy Sexton anywhere near Miss Terry because when she hears some of these rumors, she gets interested, or some of these numbers, she gets interested, and I'm not interested." So it sounds like Nick Saban is good being retired, doing what he's doing with ESPN. I still think people are going to call, but I think he's serious. I think he's good doing what he's doing and not coaching anymore. He got out at the right time, if you really think about it, with all the stuff that has been changing. So Noah, so what do you think, Dr. Crane? Nick Saban deciding to stay retired.
I mean, good for him to have the confidence in himself saying, look, I've done my time in college football. I think he just doesn't want to deal with the NIL era. I don't think he wants to deal with all the extra intangibles that come with the modern day college football because he's that old school coach that really cared about the – I'm not saying the coaches today don't care about the players, but he truly cared about the future of the players when he was a head coach at Alabama, LSU, and so forth. And I just think that's a lost art nowadays. And you have coaches like Dabo Swinney who kind of refuse to go into the NIL portal and just really delve into stuff like that when he does care for his players. And he kind of follows under that Alabama Saban train in a roundabout way. But also, too, Saban's just a different breed. He's a different breed of coaches you cannot replicate. And that's why he's just so sought after, even though he's retired.
Yeah, he went on to say, McAfee brought up, if Penn State, if AD Pat Kraft gave Saban a blank check, he said, quote, "No way. I have so much fun working with you," directed at McAfee. Why would I go do that?
He holds his chair every time he makes a pick.
Yep. Let's see. Miss Terry said, "Look, Pat, I have no doubt if Nick wanted to go back coaching, he would win his 8th national championship, but we're having too much fun. We wouldn't want to take that opportunity away from our baby coaches like Kirby and Lane." I haven't heard a number yet, Pat. That was from a few weeks ago. So I think Saban is good. I think he's staying retired. I think, he's getting to spend more time with his family, plus continue to be involved in the game of college football by being on game day and at ESPN. And look, he's done a great job with it. I really enjoy listening to him on Saturday mornings because of the in-depth. I think he works, he does a good job of being with kind of the lightheartedness, but he also brings some really good analysis with some of his breakdowns, especially defensively, of some of these teams, and especially in the SEC. And so I like hearing that, and I think the cast that they have on game day right now all really complement each other, whether it's Kirk Herbstreit or Pat McAfee, Desmond Howard, who is supposed to join DVD later today. I think they do a good job, and Reese Davis does a good job hosting it. So I think Coach Saban is perfectly fine where he is. He had a Hall of Fame career with Michigan State, LSU, and Alabama, and I think that is in Kent State before that. And I think that's where this is where he wants to be. So I think it's going to continue to come up. People aren't going to stop. The rumors are going to be out there. The ADs and people involved are fools not to call Jimmy Sexton and just see. But I think he's good where he is, and don't see it changing anytime soon. So thought that was interesting. That's your Nick Saban update of the day. Coming up next, we're going to continue to talk some college football. Harry Lyles Jr., who is a contributor for ESPN in College Game Day, he's in town. We will talk to him coming up next here on the program. Again, we are live today from Party Foul 2031 Broadway, right across from Vanderbilt's campus. You can come by and register to win a pair of tickets to tomorrow's sold-out game between Missouri and Vanderbilt. We will have those available and be giving those away around 5:45. So come by and say hi, register to win, and we'll continue here on Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Hour number 3, Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game on this Friday. We're live at Party Foul just next to the Vanderbilt campus as we get ready for Vandy and Missouri coming up tomorrow, college game day in town, and you can come by and register to win a pair of tickets to the sold-out Vanderbilt-Missouri game tomorrow. And we'll, of course, have all the coverage starting at 1 o'clock on both 102.5 The Game and 94.9 The Fan. 2031 Broadway is where you can find us at the new Party Foul here at Vanderbilt today. Let's say hello now to Harry Lyles Jr. from ESPN. He is in Nashville reporting for College Game Day. Harry, how you doing?
Doing great. How are we doing?
I am fantastic. I know it's, going to get hot and heavy tomorrow with game day starting tomorrow morning, but how are you enjoying your time in Nashville to this point?
I love Nashville. My brother actually has lived here for many years now, so I'm very familiar with it. And I know, when we go to game day sites, usually that are not normal for us, like this one, they're always the best ones that we have all year, and I expect that tomorrow morning.
Was there a sense of, watching Vanderbilt this year? Obviously, game day was what had them featured a few weeks ago, but like watching them throughout the year, was there kind of a sense behind the scenes of, man, I really hope we get to go to Nashville because this Vanderbilt team's been a lot of fun?
Oh, without question. I think every year, obviously, there are some matchups that are unavoidable, especially ones that are top 10 matchups within the SEC footprint. But when you look at a team like Vanderbilt, and obviously we know how great of a year they had last year, it's certainly carried over into this season, and especially the energy that football team just plays with, it really radiates into the fan base. And so anytime that we can sort of get into those, that's always a favorite of mine. So the fact that we are going to be here in Nashville is really, really exciting. And I expect the crowd just to be absolutely incredible tomorrow.
The coaching carousel is already in full swing, and I have to imagine that Clark Lee's name is going to be mentioned quite a bit based on what he's done, especially the last 2 years in Vanderbilt. Now, with that said, he's from Nashville. He went to Vanderbilt. There's a lot of personal connection there. So whether he would actually make the leap is yet to be seen. But, what kind of interest do you think there's going to be for Coach Lee moving forward, as you already got some major jobs that are open, and my guess is there will be more?
Yeah, I would be shocked if he does not get a ton of calls. He should be a lot of people's first call, just what he's done at that program. But I also think, too, though, to your point, talk about him being from there, being a graduate of that university, when you have the buy-in from the top down that he's gotten within that program, especially in the current college football landscape, that is so valuable no matter where you're at. The fact that he's got that at home, I imagine it's going to take a lot more than just a good opportunity elsewhere to poach him. So I'm not as sure as everybody else that he would leave that job necessarily.
Do you think Eli Drinkwitz is going to be another name that's out there based on what Missouri has been the last few years?
Oh, yeah, without question. I think you could look at what he's done with that program, especially over the last 2 or 3 seasons. And just, I think a lot of people think like, all right, well, what could he do with a program with more resources? Especially, some of these SEC jobs that are open up. I know his name's been mentioned for the Florida gig. So I think he's definitely going to be a name that you continue to hear in this cycle. And I could say as somebody that has gotten to know Coach Drink just a little bit, any team would be lucky to have him as their college football coach. So I think that's definitely another name to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I'm curious. Harry Lyles Jr. is with us. I'm curious of the Florida job because to me, that is probably the most intriguing and I guess best job open, and then Penn State right there with it. But they haven't found the right formula, and that since Urban Meyer, and that is what I think they're ultimately going to be tasked with doing, is finding that right person. So in your mind, is that right person out there? Is it Lane Kiffin? Is it Eli Drinkwitz? Is it James Franklin? Who in your mind could fit Florida and bring them back to where they need to be?
To me, Lane Kiffin, I know that's the name that keeps coming up, but it's also the one to me that just makes the most sense, right? I mean, you look at what he's done at Ole Miss, the consistency that they've had over the last couple of years. I mean, he's led them to the most success that they've had in that program's history. And then so when you're looking at a Florida, which I think part of the challenge of that job is how good Georgia and Alabama have been over the last essentially, 5 to 10 years, 15 in the case of Alabama, that has made that job a little bit more difficult than what it traditionally was. But if there's somebody that could bring them back around to that sort of breakthrough, it feels like Lane's the type of guy that would be able to do that.
When you look at college football right now, Ohio State is atop all the rankings. To me, I have not really seen too many flaws that are going to tell me that there is a team as good as Alabama has played, Texas A&M, Indiana, obviously a great story. Right now, I don't see a team that can beat them. Would you agree with that?
I'm sort of with you in terms of all the teams that you just named. I sort of put all of them into one tier. I think the one that I might feel a little bit not as confident about is A&M, just because sometimes it feels like their play fluctuates a little bit more. But the teams that I feel like, all right, if you're making me put names into a hat, we're going to pick a winner that I could feel confident being a national champion, I go Ohio State, Alabama. I think I'd put Indiana in there. And that honestly might be the line. Again, A&M I sort of have on the line there. But to me, those feel like the few right now that if you made me pick today, I'd pick one of those and feel pretty good about it.
I wasn't shocked that Indiana, wanted to extend Kurt Signetti. I was shocked how they did it and how much it was. Were you when you saw the numbers on that?
I think the only thing that was a little bit shocking was because they extended him last year, but I think that they felt that they had to do it just because of that Penn State job coming open. I'm still not certain that he would have left his current job for that one, as crazy as that sounds, just because, again, I think you look at that Indiana program and it's kind of one of those situations sort of similar to Vanderbilt where, the university decided, hey, we're going to go win at football. Let's invest in the way that we need to invest in it. Let's get the right people in the building. And you're seeing the results come off of that. And I think, first again, he notices that. He recognizes it because he's been at all levels of football. He realizes the new landscape and what goes into that. And he's got a winning formula and he's going to keep that. So I think a lot of the reaction to that was like, how are you going to pay a coach that much when you're watching Penn State pay a $50 million buyout right now? But also Indiana is one of the worst programs in college football history in terms of win percentage. So when you get a guy like Kurt Signetti and you're having this success now, you got to pay a guy like that and keep him around. So I think that is a risk that they are happily willing to take. Who
gets the Penn State job in your mind?
To me, Matt Rule makes a little bit too much sense. I know that, he's doing a really good job at Nebraska right now. I know they're coming off of a tough loss, but that's another one similar to Lane Kiffin with Florida where I look at that and it's like, man, that match looks perfect on paper. So I think we're going to find out how much he really likes that Nebraska job in the coming months here.
Yeah, I am with you on that. Elsewhere in the SEC, Tennessee has been an intriguing one. They go down to Tuscaloosa last week and lose. They've lost to Georgia and Alabama, but still in the mix. This year, they're an 8.5-point favorite on the road at Kentucky. What is kind of your 10,000-foot view of the Vols?
I really like what I've seen out of them this year. I think obviously some people have sort of undersold the injuries that they've had on the defensive side of the ball. But I have loved what I've seen out of Joey Aguilar. I've followed his career basically going back to App State. I know he was at community college before then, but called a couple of his games when he was at App State. And, one of the things that was always a strong characteristic of his was a short memory. And I know he had some turnover issues last season, and he's mostly curbed those this year. But just to watch him sort of thrive in this offense, I think has been really cool. Not even just for him, but for Tennessee, given the way things went with Nico Iamaleava last year. You hate to see that happen because it truly felt like had he stayed within this team and this offense, that he would be having just an incredibly successful year. And it felt like that was sort of thrown away. So to be able to see somebody like Joey Aguilar come in, take that position and have success with it, I think is a really good ending, not just for Joey, but also for Tennessee as well.
So what can fans look forward to from you tomorrow when it comes to game day?
Yeah, so me, Harry Douglas, former Tennessee Titan for a few years there, and Christine Williamson, we host Countdown to College Game Day. We host the 30 minutes before linear game day on site. We try to have some fun with the fans, shake hands, talk to you guys. Appreciate everybody coming out as always. So we're sort of the opening act, and we're going to help everybody wake up, though. Again, I do not anticipate Nashville will need a whole lot of help with that.
No, I think we're good. You might have some people wandering over from Broadway that don't even go home. So that might definitely happen. Harry, thanks so much for joining today, and have fun in Nashville, but not too much fun.
That's right. It's going to be a good time. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Harry Lyles Jr. joining us from ESPN. And again, Countdown to Game Day. You can check that out tomorrow before everything gets underway on Vanderbilt's campus for College Game Day. We are live, getting things set up for the Vanderbilt Missouri game. We're here at 2031 Broadway, better known as Party Foul, the new Party Foul here right next to the campus of Vanderbilt. It's right on Broadway, right at Broadway and Division when it becomes 21st. So come down and say hello. We got Chad and Sean who are standing outside. They had the QR code. It's very easy. You can sign up to win a pair of tickets to the sold-out Vanderbilt, Missouri game tomorrow at First Bank Stadium. But you do have to come by and register to win. And then once you do that, hang out for a little bit and then be listening today around 5:45 when DVD will announce the winner. But it's a sold-out game. We have a free pair of tickets for you, but you got to come here and register to win. I know a lot of people are going to be doing that. We've had a lot of people come by during their lunch break, and then DVD will be here this afternoon asking you to do the same thing. We will come back with more live from Party Foul 102.5 The Game. Well, Tony Two-Tone bringing us back on a Friday. Good call, Dr. Crane. Well done. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5. The game live at Party Foul Broadway, 2031 Broadway to be precise. And by the way, they have a parking garage that they will validate your parking for up to 2 hours. So come by, come hang out, eat, all that stuff, and you can park for free in the garage right next to the building for up to 2 hours. We're also, as we have been saying, and I'm going to keep saying this, you got to come by and register to win a pair of tickets to Vandy, Missouri tomorrow. These are awesome tickets, and they're free, which is a great price. But it'll get you in, and you can watch Vandy, Missouri tomorrow. We'll have coverage starting at 1 o'clock here on 102.5 The Game and 94.9 The Fan. You got a feel on this one, Dr. Crane?
For Vandy, Missouri?
Yeah.
I mean, I like Vandy in this game. I think they can get it done. They're a little bit more put together than Missouri. I think Missouri's kind of I don't want to say they've gotten lucky at 6-1 because obviously they're a really good ball club, but I think the Penn State quarterback transfer, Bo Prabula, I can't really pronounce his last name, but
you're on your own there, bud.
Yeah, but anyways, always call him Bo. It's not Bo Jackson, but Bo the quarterback. He's definitely been a pretty good, asset for them going forward, but he's not a Diego Pavia. I think Vandy knows how to really work their offense, whereas Missouri, they're about to see a really good Vanderbilt defense. I think Vandy's defense is something that a lot of people undervalue if you're a national spectator in this aspect, because Vandy has really showed up and showed out on the defensive side of the ball.
They have. And look, I think that I never thought I'd say this, but I think this is definitely a premier game tomorrow. And, I have as a Vanderbilt fan, my nervousness, but I do think that Vanderbilt, if they can control the line of scrimmage, Diego Pavia does what Diego Pavia does, Vandy's going to win. That's how I think it's going to go. We got anchor down. We got some Vandy people up in here. I think that's what's going to happen. And this ride can continue. And then you take it week by week, and that's what Clark has been doing. And I think he's been doing a really good job of preaching that message of not getting too high, not getting too low, and taking it 1 week at a time. But I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued by this matchup tomorrow, and how much it tests both the offense and the defense. But there's just so many weapons on both sides of the ball that both teams have, but that I think Vanderbilt will be able to use to their advantage tomorrow. So we're going to have Sean Henry join us here in a few minutes, CEO of the Nashville Predators. They won last night. So a big win in Smashville. It was a gritty 2-1 game, which is, I think, how a lot of these are going to be. UC Saros, by the metrics, I saw Willie put the tweet out, and I know they'll talk about this later, but all the metrics that they look at, it was considered a steal that UC Saros stole them the game. But they went at 2-1 against Vancouver, and it took a while to get the scoring going. But Ryan O'Reilly was able to score shorthanded his third of the year to put the Preds up 1-0. Max Sasson would get his third of the year a little later in the second period to tie it up, and then Cole Smith, just that grit and grind, putting it in the back of the net, and that ultimately was the game winner. So Cole Smith with his second goal of the year. Predators win 2-1 for game number 2 of a 5-game homestand, and they're back at it tomorrow night, back-to-back nights at Bridgestone Arena against the LA Kings tomorrow night, and then the Dallas Stars on Sunday. So they will continue that road stand and then wrap up the roads, or the homestand, I should say, Tuesday night against the Tampa Bay Lightning at Bridgestone Arena. But it was a good win, and look, it snapped the skid, and I think it was a good thing to see the Predators play the way they did and get that 2-1 win. So I was definitely glad to see them do that and see if they can maybe string a few together. They are going to have to figure out how to score, though. I mean, you can't sustain going through a season just scoring 2 goals a night, even with UC Saros playing the way that UC Saros is playing. I mean, you've got to find a way to get Stamkos the puck more, and Stamkos to put it in the back of the net. Same with Forsberg. Some of these guys, I know, you don't have a guy that's going to score 60 a year for you, but you do have some guys that can put the puck in the back of the net, and I think getting Marchessault back will certainly help that. 615-737-1025 is our phone and text line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Larry wants to weigh in on Vanderbilt. Larry, what's up? What's that, Larry? Don't hear you.
All afternoon. If Vandy Clay wins those tickets, does he get to go to the game?
Probably not, unfortunately. I think
that's a darn shame. I've known Clay for a while. He's a big Vanderbilt fan.
Oh, we know. I'm surprised he hasn't called in or showed up yet.
He told Arkansas one year they're number one.
He did. He sure did. Thank you, Larry. Appreciate the call. Look, Joe and I have made it our mission to get Vandy Clay back into a Vanderbilt athletic facility, but I don't know if we haven't been successful to this point. But we do love Clay. He's a adamant listener, and again, I'm surprised he hasn't called in or come by yet. But
I feel like Clay has to hit certain benchmarks to get back to that. I wouldn't say relevancy, but to that degree of difficulty to get in those Vanderbilt athletic facilities.
Right. He's got to achieve some things. Maybe we could do like a web series on getting Clay, reconditioned to where he could go back to Vanderbilt games.
It'd be great. We show him a few pictures, like, hey, what do you see here, Clay? And he sees a bunch of Vandy signs. Then he sees, an Arkansas sign. He goes, no, let's not make that gesture. No. It's more like a AA meeting sort of for Vanderbilt.
A VA meeting? I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
That would be. We do a 5-part series on Vandy Clay and his road to returning to Vanderbilt. That could certainly be a good one. It's another good week of college football. Maybe not like it was last week, but Indiana's going to play UCLA. I think Indiana's going to win that one pretty big. 26.5-point favorite. Georgia Tech against Syracuse. Georgia Tech has been very good. Ole Miss, Oklahoma is definitely the best game of the 11 o'clock slate. Virginia goes to North Carolina. They're a 10.5-point favorite. Surprised it's not more. Memphis, South Florida is one I would pay attention to because South Florida is a 6.5-point favorite on the road at Memphis. I would take Memphis in the points because I think they know they squandered their chance last week and they're going to be out for revenge. So I like the Tigers in that one. You got BYU, Iowa State, which I think will be a good one. Illinois, Washington is another one. Baylor, Cincinnati. Texas is in Starkville taking on Mississippi State. So that could be fun. Miami, I think, is the same thing. They're going to be out for blood against Stanford. Texas A&M, LSU in what I believe is a must-win game for Brian Kelly and LSU. Otherwise, things are going to get really uncomfortable for Brian Kelly if they drop to 5-3, especially with that game being at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. A&M going in as a 2.5-point favorite on the road. So I don't like to put the must-win label on a lot of games, but I do think that is a must-win when it comes to LSU and what they need to do. So that, and then Tennessee is up in Lexington taking on Kentucky. So you got that one on the SEC network at 6:45. So looking forward to that. A full slate of college football coming up tomorrow. Coming up next, Sean Henry, the CEO of the Nashville Predators, is going to join me. Catch up with him on all things Smashville after the Preds get a 2-1 win last night. We'll talk to Sean coming up next. We're live at Party Foul 2031 Broadway, right across from campus. It's the official new hangout spot for Vandy fans, students, and anyone craving Nashville hot chicken with a side of fun. You can come by here, register to win a pair of tickets to see Vanderbilt take on Missouri tomorrow at First Bank Stadium. We got our crew out here with the QR code. All you got to do is sign up and win. We'll give those away around 5:45 this afternoon. So definitely come check it out. And parking is free. They'll give you a parking voucher in the garage next door. So come on down and see us. Sean Henry joins us next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game here on this Friday. Live at Party Foul down by Vanderbilt, 2031 Broadway, right across from campus. Come by, see us. You can register to win a pair of tickets to the sold-out Vandy, Missouri game tomorrow afternoon. But you got to come by and register to win. We say hello now to the CEO of the Nashville Predators, Sean Henry, who is on the line with us. Got to see Sean the other night. It was a lot of fun. How you doing?
I'm doing well. It's always good to see you. That was a fun radio show, wasn't it?
It was. It was a good time. Tyson Jost has been a great new addition, and then Adam Wilsby, you can't go wrong with him because he is just a funny guy.
He really is. They both are. And just good stories, and obviously, they both are enjoying Nashville, and that was fun. Thanks for letting me join you guys, and thanks for buying me dinner too.
I think it was the other way around. I owe you a thank you, but I appreciate that. Big Joe is not here. He is on his way to Mississippi to celebrate his granddaughter's first birthday. And I know that you can appreciate that more than anybody because the only reason you hung out with us the other night is because your granddaughter wasn't there. And you were really upset about that because you wanted to see your granddaughter.
Well, yeah, my daughter-in-law teased me. I mean, Nick's wife and my daughter-in-law were there, and I thought they had my granddaughter. When I found out they didn't, I stayed with you.
Yeah. Well, I hope I cheered you up. I tried to.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm right down the road from you. I'm at Centennial. I can come over and take Joe's place if you want.
Well, come on. I'm here for 30 more minutes and then DVD's taking over, but we're just hanging out, trying to give away some Vandy tickets, game day in town. So it's a poppin' place right now.
It really is a pretty exciting weekend, isn't it? How cool is it that game day is here? I'm excited about it. Great.
And it's cool to see the success that, you guys went through this in 2017 and many times, but, to see what Vanderbilt has been able to do really the last 2 years, last week beating LSU and now being a top 10 team for the first time since 1950 is just fantastic. As somebody that grew up here, I never even dreamed of this, and now to see it as a reality is awesome.
Well, I'll tell you, the first time I met Mark Lee, right after he got hired, I found out he was a hockey player and his kids are all hockey players. I got so excited for him. And then you get the chance to see him time and time again. And there is not a better person to be happy for than he and that whole program. Candace is a friend of our organization. Clark is. And it's just good for the whole city. But personally, I'm happy for them.
Sean Henry is with us. Coming up next Saturday, the Golden Hall, you'll be doing the inductions for the second year, and I could not think of two better individuals to join the Golden Hall than Pete Weber and Terry Crisp. They are the true voices of Smashville. They are the first voices that you heard, and everybody knows the story that it was supposed to be for one game, and it has lasted over 20 years as those two being ambassadors for the Predators and for Smashville. But it's going to be really cool to see them inducted into the Golden Hall along with David Poyle, Shea Weber, and Pecorine.
You know what I really love about both those guys, besides who they are and their personalities and their care and really just the friendship, and you're a case study in this. At your age, they introduced hockey to so many people that are now in their, late 20s, early 30s. Those are the guys that brought hockey to Smashville, and they're great storytellers, but better than that, they're great stewards of the game. They love the game. They love the people in it, and they have that gift of being able to bring it to life, not just through our game broadcasts, but every time you see them in the community, whether it be at a coffee shop, a restaurant, a bar, or at a park, and they will talk to anyone about hockey. And I don't know if this city and our franchise is where it is without those guys and their passion.
Well, to your point, Sean, I can remember, and, a lot of people would probably tell you this, that if you grew up here, you didn't really know that much about hockey. Yes, there were some minor league teams, but it wasn't as prevalent as it has become. And I remember turning on the TV, and here's these just two jovial guys cracking jokes at each other, talking about the game, and it was entertaining. And so I wanted to stick around and hear whether it was on the radio or the television, and listen to what they had to say. And I think so many people did that and therefore learned about the game of hockey as they went along and became hockey and Predator fans.
There's no doubt. I mean, they're so likable. They lured you in with their kindness and their fun and their spirit. And next thing you know, 3 games in, you're an incredible hockey fan. So.
Sean Henry is with us on the program. Sweden is coming up. I mean, it is less than a month away. The Global Series against the Pittsburgh Penguins on November 14th and November 16th. I know that you're very excited about this because the Predators have become a global brand, but also how special it's going to be for guys like Adam Wilsby and Philip Forsberg to be able to go to Sweden and play this game in front of what is, I am only expecting to be a raucous crowd.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. And I'm just grateful to our fans that created the environment that made the NHL realize wherever we put the Preds, good things are going to happen. And, we've been on the international stage now so often. We played in Europe 2 years ago, obviously this time, hosted an outdoor game, played in an outdoor game, all-star games, drafts, awards. That happens only in great hockey markets in, places where the fans are fanatics, and ours sure are. The very best are right here in Smashville. It'll be fun to celebrate them over in Sweden and watching Philip and Adam host all of us.
What I'm excited about is, on that Friday, we'll have kind of a midday game that you can hear. But then on that Sunday, like I'm calling it breakfast with the Predators. I mean, pregame's going to start at 7 o'clock on that Sunday, and then the puck drop just after 8 local time, which is going to be really cool. Wake up early on a Sunday morning and watch the Predators.
I'll tell you what, as a kid, we used to grow up breakfast with Wimbledon. I can't imagine how much better breakfast with the Preds are going to be, right? I am excited about it. I'm really excited. I'll be able to be over there with my wife, 2 of my kids, 2 of my grandkids. It's going to be a wonderful experience I think we have 300 fans going over as well. Just a lot of fun. But also, as you just said, if you're here watching the games, different time slots, I'll give you an opportunity to do so differently. And ideally, there's nothing better than a mimosa and Bloody Mary with a win.
No doubt about that. Talking with Sean Henry, I know how much we've discussed the growth of Smashville, what's going to be happening with the arena in the next few years, and the growth there. But there's another facility that I know has come up, and you guys have talked about a little bit with Centennial Sportsplex, where you practice on a daily basis. That is another facility that is in need of some growth. So, what's the latest there, and what's something you can tell us about?
Well, it's funny. I'm outside Centennial right now, looking at the building. We've had a bunch of meetings here today. If we're fortunate enough to get everything approved, it's going to be nice to grow our partnership with Parks in the city again. And what we created at Bridgestone Arena together at Fordyce Center, Antioch, and Bellevue, and so many other initiatives. It's really nice when you lock arms with each other. We took the same spirit we have with Bridgestone Arena when we extended the lease, 30 years. We did something that no other sports team's ever done. And we said to the city, we don't want your money. As a matter of fact, let us alleviate your burden in these buildings. And that's what we want to do with Centennial. I mean, look at the history in this building. So many good things have happened here. It's been our home for almost 30 years. It's a great group of people here. Great programs are out of here, whether it be the Flyers or NYHL or National Skating Academy or just the Friday night, open skates for high school kids. That's great. What we're going to be able to do is make it a little bit better by investing the money. Take the burden from the city of the $30 million of necessary investment in the building. We're going to cover that. We'll invest in it. We're going to be able to open the building up a little bit more often than it is right now. If you're at Bellevue during the day, there's 200 people in that building in and out of it throughout the day. We'd like to extend that into what we do at Centennial as well. We're also going to build a state-of-the-art training complex for our players to continue to push them forward and give them, more and more tools to do what we ultimately want to do, and that's win a Stanley Cup. But I am so excited about expanding our partnership with Parks Department. There are a few Parks Departments in the country that can even think about comparing to ours, and they're so diversified, from golf courses to wave pools to ice rinks to some just really nice history. And anytime I get a chance to work with Monique and her staff, we jump at it. And, there's some approvals coming up. Obviously, there's always some people who are worried, like, what's going to happen? What's the change going to be? The change is all going to be good because we're going to take everything that's happening now and let that continue to grow. We're going to invest in the facility so it's a little bit nicer, make sure that it can stay open for the next 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. And when the Frisk constructed this as a gift to the city, it's going to be really nice to take their generosity and continue that forward with our own.
It's so funny you mentioned the word change, and you and I have talked about this privately before of just how deathly afraid people are of change. And then when they just accept it and let it happen, they realize, oh wow, this is really good. Like, you know, when the arena, when you guys start that process with the arena, I mean, there's going to be change, and people are going to be like, oh, this is so different, but it's gonna improve. It's going to be better, and that's what I think people need to embrace. Is change is a good thing.
Yeah, progress is good. It comes with a little cost here or there, but in the end, it's a good thing. And it was fun. We were just sitting out here with a city council member, going over with her, you know, what it'll look like. Do you have concerns? What are they? How do we address them? But it was nice to hear the refreshing part of her saying, look, you have a 30-year track history of always striving to do what's right. The key is striving. Sometimes we make mistakes, and then you correct them. But she started citing examples at Bridgestone Arena, in Antioch, in Bellevue, just through our foundation, what we do. Like she said, there's a lot of trust with our organization, and we worked hard, and we earned it. At the same time, our fans have made it really easy for us to earn trust, you know, with the city, with the parks, and ideally with the users of the facility. It's something that I don't know if you can come up with one or two reasons why this shouldn't work. I sure can.
Right. I'm right there with you. Sean, appreciate you taking the time. It was good to see you the other night. Thanks again for dinner, and we'll see you this weekend in Smashville.
Yeah, I look forward to continuing this winning streak with you tomorrow, and ideally this Sunday as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sean Henry, the CEO of the Nashville Predators, joining us here on the program. Again, we are live today at Party Foul Vanderbilt, which is at 2031 Broadway, right across the street from campus. It is the new official hangout spot for Vandy fans, students, and anyone craving hot chicken, Nashville hot chicken, and a side of fun. You can come by and register to win a pair of tickets to tomorrow's sold-out Vanderbilt and Missouri game. We got our table set up. Just come by and sign up, and we'll be announcing the winner of those tickets on the air around 5:45 during DVD this afternoon. Coming up next, we'll tell you what day it is in celebrity birthdays. Adam Vingan is going to be our birthday announcer today. And it'll be me and Dr. Crane competing there. We'll do that next. Jason Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, the game on this Friday live at Party Foul Vanderbilt, 2031 Broadway, right next to campus. By the way, you can park for free. They have parking validation. You just park in the garage right next to Party Foul in the Artisan building, and they will validate your parking for up to 2 hours. So you can come by, hang out, get something to eat, get something to drink, and sign up to win a pair of tickets to the sold-out Vandy, Missouri game tomorrow. DVD, which is coming up next, we'll be giving those away around 5:45 this afternoon. You do not have to be present to win, but you got to physically come down here and sign up for them, and then be listening at 5:45 when they announce the winner. Adam Vingan joins us now, and I know you're going to have a Vanderbilt flavor, and hopefully Desmond Howard will be a part of the show this afternoon. We're kind of waiting on a specific time for that, but it looks like he should join.
Just in time for the Michigan versus Michigan State game this weekend as well.
Yeah, I know how timely that we have a Michigan State Spartan and a Michigan Wolverine, a Heisman Trophy winning Michigan Wolverine on the same show. So that could be very interesting with Derek and Desmond coming up a little later on. Quickly, the final injury report is out for the Titans. Blake Hance, Bryce Oliver, Calvin Ridley, Jeffrey Simmons all out. For the Tennessee Titans. Arden Key, Xavier Woods are questionable for the Titans on Sunday. Mason Kinsey has been signed to the active roster. With that, let's get to what day is it and celebrity birthdays.
All right. First on this, we have National Crazy Day. About every day. 40-hour work week day is today. Black Thursday. It looks like something with Wall Street. Food Day is today. Global Champagne Day, always a good time to celebrate. National Good and Plenty Day. National Bologna Day. Love me some bologna. National
Bologna
Pharmacy.
has a first name. It's Homer.
National Pharmacy Buyer Day. So there you go. Take Back Your Time Day. Time, whatever, thief of time. United Nations Day. World Development Information Day. World Polio Day. And to wrap it up, World Tripe Day. And if people that don't know what tripe is, it is the lining of the stomach of a cow.
Oh,
quite delicious.
I learned something today.
Thank you for that. We have a celebrity birthday announcer for celebrity birthdays. Adam Vingan helping us out. So, Adam, take it away.
Okay, you have to get these within 2. You get 2 points if you hit it dead on. Let's start with Chase McCabe. Actor F. Murray Abraham was born today. How old is F. Murray Abraham?
I don't know who that is. I think I should know who that is. 71.
80?
He is 86.
Wow. Okay.
So still zeros in the early going.
Yeah, very nice.
Professional footballer Wayne Rooney. How old is Wayne Rooney today, Frazier?
Wayne Rooney's got to be in his late 40s or early 50s. I'm going to go 53.
50.
He is 40 today.
Wow. Okay.
Chase, you're up next. One of my guilty pleasures. I love watching Degrassi, The Next Generation. And today is the birthday of one Aubrey Graham, also known as Drake. How old is Drake today?
Let's go with 36.
38.
He is 39. So Frazier is up 1-0. R&B singer Monica. Frazier, I believe you're up first. How old is Monica today?
I'm going to go with 44.
I will say that Monica, who, by the way, let me check this real quick, is at Bridgestone Arena tonight.
Oh.
Along with Brandy.
The boy is mine.
Yeah. Monica, I'm going to say 53.
Frazier, what did you say?
44.
She is 45.
Wow, good job.
So Frazier is up 2-0. Here is a blast from the past. Tila Tequila. Chase, how old is Tila Tequila today?
38.
42.
She is 44.
Wow.
Frazier up 3-0. All right, we have 3 sports birthdays here. Local boy done good. Frazier, how old is Jalen Ramsey today?
Oh, Brentwood Academy kid. Oh, man. Jalen Ramsey is, I'm going to go 31.
32.
He is indeed 31. Frazier up 5-0. So, Chase, you can't win today.
No.
We only have 2 left, but I hope you get this one right. I'm going to be really disappointed in you if you don't get this one
Must
right.
be a wrestler.
How old is, I'd like to think, soon to be WWE World Heavyweight Champion Braun Breaker? How old is Braun Breaker today?
I'm going to say Braun Breaker is.
Well, Pat McAfee is somewhere around here. Can we get the dogs barking?
I know, right? 28.
33.
He is indeed 28 years old. So, Chase on the board, 5-2. Final one today. How old is Detroit Lions wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown? Frazier, you go first.
Amon-Ra is around, he's not my age, is he? He might be. I'm going to go 26.
27.
He is indeed 26. Frazier
Nice.
wins 7-2 today.
Right.
A blowout for Frazier. Good job, Frazier.
Wow.
Thank
That
you.
is a good job. Good job, Dr. Crane.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I'm now questioning if I'm 26 or 27. I can't remember.
You do get to a certain age where you don't really know how old you are.
That's
well,
true.
I'm stating
that-
it today then.
Yeah, no, that happens. And then you can kind of make up whatever age you want to be. Like Derek Mason just walked in and he's 44. So
He wishes.
yeah, he's going with that. That is going to do it for us here today at Party Foul. Again, DVD is here for their entire show. Come by, register to win a pair of tickets to the sold-out Vanderbilt, Missouri game tomorrow. We're at 2031 Broadway. You can park next door for free for up to 2 hours. They'll validate your parking. So come by and see us. They will be here, and they will announce the winner of those tickets at around 5:45 this afternoon. You don't have to be present to win, but you got to come by and sign up, and then you're eligible to win. So be sure to do that. Again, that is going to do it for us. And as we always say, we're going into the weekend. We want you here. We need you here. If you need to talk to somebody, you can always reach out to one of us or dial 988 on your cell phone. And, of course, Unity Psych is there for you. Just go to unitypsychiatrics.com/Big Joe for more information on that, because we want you, we need you, and we love you. And as Big Joe always says, more importantly, God loves you. Have a great weekend. Peace, love, rock and roll. DVD next.